I think we should start with Caleb Williams, though, because this is the man who was the number one pick in the 2024 NFL draft. He is not shaping up to be a number one pick. He has happy feet in the pocket. He looks horrendous throwing the football. He missed wide open throws. Yeah, he started 10 for 10 last night on checkdowns for scripted plays, and he did scramble well, but the problem is the scrambling became the entire game, and then the feet are out of whack, and then he can't make throws down the field, and then he's throwing hospital balls over the middle to DJ Moore. So just a pretty bad night from Caleb Williams. I think he was a big reason they lost. Not the only reason. If they can't kick a ball through the end zone, that's a big reason why they're going to lose a game too. But Caleb Williams was terrible.
Well, I mean, the kicking the ball through the end zone thing, they were still down in near the end of the fourth quarter. So it's a big play. It is a big play. It's a huge play, but that didn't lose them the game. I'm going to put this right at the feet of Caleb Williams. And I was ready to praise him because although it was scripted stuff, Caleb was improvising. He was scrambling, he was throwing off platform, he was making stuff happen. It's like, wow, this is the Ben Johnson experience. They finally figured it out. And then by the end of the game, you look back, you say, no, this is exactly what it's always been with Caleb Williams. He's had 3 head coaches now. He's had 3 offensive coordinators. It's the same thing every time. He puts together 2 to 3 straight drives where he's an MVP candidate. And then the next 2, 3, 4 quarters, he's a backup. He is so streaky. I can't remember a player being this streaky, this consistently. Like, I think we got to go to like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, but even then he's going to have an awesome game with 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the next game, he's going to have 5 interceptions. It was never drive to drive, quarter to quarter like this, where he's oscillating between being phenomenal and horrid. He cannot string anything together. And you were talking about some of his mistakes in this game. The worst play of the entire night was that I forget the exact route. I think it was a sort of slot fade, maybe to Zacchaeus or DJ Moore. One of them was going to the flat, got caught up. It's up the left side towards the end of the game where the Bears could actually take the lead there. And Caleb just completely airmails. Like, that is a wide open touchdown. I think they got the ball at 240. He starts with like a 30-yard pass to Kmet, and you could have had a 40-yard touchdown right there. It could have been 2 plays, get this game tied up, and he completely missed it. And then next play, 2 plays later, however long, that's when the DJ Moore thing happened. I don't know how the Bears ended up even getting down the field on that possession because it was all just penalties and Caleb Williams scrambles, but he had some huge missed passes at the end of that game.
Yeah, he missed 3 or 4 throws. But my thing is, early in the game, I was watching and I'm texting my buddy. I'm like, this is not really good for the Bears offense because their only offense is Caleb just making plays with his feet. And I don't know if he was avoiding the pocket early or getting out early, but it didn't look like a competent Bears offense, even early in the game where they were moving the football. And honestly, if they don't get the pick 6 in this game, they get blown off the field. The pick 6 changed the game. And at that point, you're like, hey, Chicago looks pretty good. They got a chance. But the defense gave up late. Minnesota started running the football, which is the reason JJ McCarthy was able to settle in. And they just overall, I think, took the game away from Chicago. I think the Bears didn't know what hit them. That was the biggest thing. They folded in this football game.
This is such an unexcusable loss. And it's the first game of Ben Johnson's tenure. I'm not even really going to focus on him because all that seems to have happened is it's the same old Bears. And it's one game, I get it, so I'm not going to judge his tenure, but I am just going to judge the Bears and the Caleb Williams era. It's the same thing. For them to have been ahead like that, and you're right that the pick 6 changed the complexion of the game. But with that being said, they're up 17-6 or 20-6, something like that in the third quarter. JJ McCarthy has done nothing up to this point, and he's coming off of a pick 6. That pick 6, I think, was 74 yards. JJ McCarthy had like 49 yards passing in that game. So he gave up more interception yards than he had the entire night up to that point. The Vikings got nothing going. They're losing by double digits on the road to a division rival. There's no way you're supposed to lose that game. And credit to JJ McCarthy for showing resilience. I'll give him that. I still don't think he's that good. But if he does have that mentality and he's got these players around him, and he's got this coaching staff, I think Brian Flores is the best defensive coordinator in football. I think Kevin O'Connell's the smartest offensive mind in football. So you know what? They're still going to be able to win games with this setup. Even if McCarthy's not that good because they just proved they could do it last night.
Well, coaching makes a huge difference too, and I think we forget that. Ben Johnson did not look like this brilliant offensive mind last night because he had to manage everything. He couldn't manage the entire game. That was his biggest issue.
The final touchdown, though, that was pretty sweet. The fake run, throw to the back of the end zone. That was pretty nice.
It doesn't matter, though, because you're in a situation where the only reason they move the ball down the field there is because the Vikings are up double digits at this time. They're just not going to give up the big play over the top. So you get a big explosive right away. There were guys running open down the field. Yeah, that was a pretty cool play. It's good that he had a cool play last night. But other than that, he couldn't manage a game. Kevin O'Connell can manage a game. He can manage his quarterbacks. He's a brilliant offensive mind. He made something out of Sam Darnold. He's making something out of JJ McCarthy. Right now, personally, I would rather have JJ McCarthy with Kevin O'Connell than Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson. We don't know what Ben Johnson, the head coach, looks like. Like, you look at these guys, Dennis Allen last night calling the plays for the Bears, and obviously his defense folded as the defensive coordinator. But this is a guy who had a head coaching job. He must have been a really good DC, gets head coaching job back as a DC, and regarded as a good one. Matt Eberflus, regarded as a good coordinator. He just can't be a head coach. I don't know if that's going to be the case for Ben Johnson, but it was a very bad coaching effort last night. It was a bad offensive effort. And then defensively, they just folded. When the Vikings started moving the football, they gave up.
Yeah, and you can look at the box score. ESPN gave Caleb a QBR of 64, which is good. It's not great, but it is good at 50s average. He's 21 of 35. He has 268 total yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. You can look at that stuff and say, "Oh wow, Caleb played well." But it's kind of like last year. Again, if you're just stat watching, last season he had 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You say, "Oh, he ran for 500 yards." Like, wow, that was a good season. But if you dive into the numbers, he was 23rd in EPA. I know this is a little nerdy, but he's 23rd in EPA. He underperformed his expected completion percentage by 13 points. That's one of the 3 worst of the entire first week of football. And again, just for the context of the game, to be in control of the scoreboard, even though the pick six played a huge part, to be in control of the scoreboard at home, division rival, McCarthy's effectively a rookie coming off of a torn meniscus. Like, it was a horrible, horrible collapse.
This game is the definition of the Bears. This is just who the Bears are. And I don't think it's going to change under Caleb Williams. I don't know what it's going to take to change for them to get back to the 85 Bears, or even the Jay Cutler Bears that were okay. Like, Jay Cutler, they were competitive teams there.
Was Rex Grossman their quarterback when they were in the Super Bowl, or was that Cutler?
I don't want to look it up because my Wi-Fi right now, so you're gonna have to do that.
Okay, but, I'll look it up.
It wasn't Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler never won the Super Bowl.
It was Rex Grossman.
Yeah. But those teams, they were competitive teams then. And like the expectations were so high. And Caleb looked really good in the preseason. And he still could be good. Don't get me wrong. But I think we're spending too much time painting nails right now and not enough time watching film. Like that's my take. He had great nails last night. The suicide awareness ones were great. They looked really well done. You should have spent a little more time preparing for the football game because you looked unprepared. You look like you just didn't look comfortable out there. That was my problem with Caleb.
Did you see the article that came out kind of talking about him, spilling some details?
Of what?
It was some nasty stuff just about, it's just more reports about, I'm trying to find, sorry, give me like 5 seconds here. And if I can't find it, I wrote it down earlier. If I can't find it, then I'll just move on from it. Let me see. Do I have it here? Okay, I do. This is per Tyler Dunn of Go Long, which is a website, a podcast, and a YouTube channel. I want to make sure I give him his credit. So this article spilled a lot of details here. He talked about one time during a game against the Seahawks last year, after they had fired Shane Waldron and Thomas Brown had taken over as the offensive coordinator. Caleb goes to the sideline, and then he turns his back, walks back on the field. Thomas Brown says, "Get your ass back here right now. Don't effing walk away from me when I'm talking to you." Caleb continues walking as if nothing happened at all, just completely ignored him. The team had to revert to a ready, set, go cadence because he couldn't handle colors and numbers. During team meetings, coaches would walk up and find his book on the wrong page. He'd call out plays incorrectly, and that would lead to illegal formations, illegal procedures. What else? Oh, so Ryan Poles heard that Jaden Daniels used VR headsets, and that he credited that to part of his success. Then the Bears talked about trying to get Caleb to use it, but ultimately they didn't purchase the headsets because they couldn't justify the cost because they didn't believe Caleb would actually use it. So like all these things together, it just seems like a really nasty sort of situation in there. And we can blame coaching, right? None of us think that Shane Waldron or Matt Eberflus did a good job, but at the same time, if the player is not listening to coaching, then how much can I actually blame them? That blame also lies at the feet of the player.
When you watch Caleb play, and last night was a clear example of it, you see why he was so dominant in college, because he is a prototypical college quarterback. Evade pressure, get out of the pocket, make these crazy throws down the field, let your 5-star kids run around against 3-star kids in the secondary and just get open as you're improvising in the pocket. He looks like a college quarterback, and it makes sense why he was so good in college based on how he plays in the NFL, but you can't do that in the NFL. Like the intentional grounding he had, he probably makes a play in college there, but that's a 50-yard touchdown pass.
How about the one where he was scrambling to the right side and just walked out of bounds?
That was the worst one of the night. Yeah, you throw it away. Just throw it away. Don't step out of bounds. Throw it away. Like, he tries to make something out of nothing too many times, and that becomes a major issue. But that's what the college game is all about. You watch a guy like Johnny Manziel. Like, it just looks like a Johnny Manziel college kind of atmosphere with Caleb Williams every time he's playing football, because in college, most weeks, you look at these top tier programs, most weeks, I'd say out of your 12 games, you have 4 or 5 games, probably half your schedule, maybe, where your kids are as athletic as the kids across from you. Other than that, like if you're at Oklahoma, you're going to be playing against teams most times where your receivers can just go get open if you improvise in the pocket. And that's what Caleb has been used to, and he hasn't been able to shake it in the NFL.
Yeah, I've spoke negatively about JJ McCarthy, but again, because he deserves it. It's his first start. He had 3 total touchdowns, 1 interception, and he finished the game very strong, showed a lot of resilience. So I want to give him credit for that. It was his first start. We'll see. He's basically a rookie. We'll see how he evolves. A lot of quarterbacks aren't good in their first start. So I just want to put that out there because I felt like it was a little harsh to JJ. I'm not a believer, but I didn't believe he was going to come back and win that game, and he did it. So credit to JJ, credit to Kevin O'Connell, Brian Flores, all of them. They deserved that win.
Yeah, Brian Flores was great. The defense was awesome for them down the stretch. Looking at the class of 2024 quarterbacks, Grant, if we're going to redraft them, here's how I would go right now. Ready for this?
Oh, wait, I got to ask a question. Okay. Is this in order of what you've seen from them in the NFL, or just you're still projecting 15 years from now, who do I want on the team?
A little of both. Does that work?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
I'll take Jaden number 1. I'll take Bo Nix number 2. I'll take Michael Penix number 3. I will then go JJ McCarthy 4. And then the jury's still out on Caleb or Drake. But I would put Caleb probably ahead of Drake because he at least has a full season under his belt where I've seen potential there. And then I would put Drake May last.
That's really interesting. I did not expect you to have Drake last.
I think Drake sucks. I think he's Mac Jones 2.0. He's not an NFL quarterback. Does not look like an NFL quarterback one bit.
Huh. Maybe I got to rethink my evaluation here because you are the Patriots fan. You're a Patriots and a Buccaneers fan. I know you change your mind depending on who's winning, but
look good.
So I'll go Jaden number 1. It's really funny you say that because I feel like in terms of just the plays they've made, like Drake could be an argument for number 2. I wouldn't put him 2. I was a huge Michael Penix guy in college, and he hasn't gotten many chances to prove it. He played 2 or 3 games last year, but I think you started to see it in that first game against the Buccaneers. So I'm actually going to put Penix 2. I'm a big Penix guy. After that, I have McCarthy last. I wasn't a believer coming out of college. This game did not make me change my opinion, even though, again, want to give him credit for the resilience. For me, it is actually very tough to differentiate between Caleb, Nix, and Drake. I think Nix has the lowest ceiling of them all pretty clearly. He also had the best rookie season, but he was horrible in week 1 against the Titans. And I do think it's a regression. Like, we're talking about sophomore slumps. I think Bo Nix is going to get hit with sophomore slump here. So if you put a gun to my head and I had to pick, I would go Jaden, Penix. I would honestly go Drake. Bo and Caleb's tough, man. Caleb's got so much more potential, but he's also got so much lower lows. I'll go right from what I've seen. I'll go Bo, Caleb, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm being a little harsh on Drake after the season opener, but there's a lot of talk up here in Boston about how Drake is just Mac Jones 2.0. And you know what? It's unfair to react after 1 week of football, but for the most part, and I will say this, that from what I've seen, week 1 tells a lot about a team. Week 1 tells a lot about a player, a lot about an individual, right? Like you look at JJ McCarthy. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback in the world. I think he's going to be okay under Kevin Connell. I think he's a dog too. I think that's the biggest difference with JJ McCarthy. The kid's a winner.
So he also looks like Kevin O'Connell's son. I don't know if you caught that.
He looks like an NFL quarterback. You know, like I'll give him that. Caleb, same old, right? Like week 1 just looks like a continuation of last year. Is he going to surprise me? Maybe, but probably not. Drake May, there were flashes of it last year. He didn't protect the football last year. In the opener, the box score doesn't show how he actually played. The Patriots offense can't move the football. Continuation of last year. You know, I think we judge after week 1, but week 1 does tell us a lot. And typically a leopard just doesn't change its stripes.
Spots.
Stripes.
Leopards don't have, do they have stripes or is it spot? Wait.
Stripes. Cheetahs have spots.
Leopard doesn't change. No, it's leopard doesn't change its spots. That's stripes. The phrase.
No, it's stripes.
Okay.
Leopard doesn't change stripes.
Okay, go continue with what you're saying.
The phrase is definitely leopard doesn't change its stripes. Maybe, I don't know if it's because they have stripes or spots. I think snow leopards have stripes.
Let's see. Now we're getting to a part of the animal kingdom that I'm not good with. I'm not good with snow leopards.
I think I've never heard the phrase leopard doesn't change its spots. I think it's stripes.
I just Googled it and that's what came up.
Well, it's Google leopard doesn't change its stripes. It'll come up. I Googled it yesterday.
Okay, yeah. I guess they're interchangeable. Maybe they both show up.
The bottom line is, if you suck, you're gonna suck in week 1. If you're good, you're gonna be better in week 1. You know, like that's just the vibe. Like the Patriots, they're done for. The team is done. They suck. We saw it in week 1. Cancel the playoffs because it's not coming. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, he's a dog. He's a guy who you want to have the ball in the fourth quarter. What did he do in the fourth quarter? He went out and won the football game. Like it doesn't, if week 1, it's not unfair to judge somebody after week 1 because week 1 just tells the continuation of who they are as a person and a player.